Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me or not. It is your lady, Anna, in the building. Thought I'd come on here and go live with y'all for a minute. How are you doing today? What's good? Why are dating apps failing us? Especially for the men. Men, what do you think? What do you think you're not getting out of your dating apps right now? I'm curious to know. Let's talk about it. I actually think that it is so many dating apps going on right now to where it makes it easier for people just to kind of flip flop around. What do you think? That's what I'm thinking. I think that it makes it easy to swipe left, swipe right. Like it's like really no thought going into it when it comes to people getting on sites and looking for people. I think you have the people who are serial daters, you got the serious people, but for the most part, you have a lot of serial daters, I think. I do think there are a lot of great people in this world, but I do think there are a lot of people who waste a lot of people's time. Like, seriously. I will say this though. I know some people that got together, got married, and hey, they living their life. I will say it is definitely like picking a piece of hair out of hay sometimes, but you have to have the patience. You have to have the patience. Let me know whoever's in this chat if you can hear me or not. If you can, please put a one in the chat. But that's what I want to talk about. What do you think the problems is when it comes to dating apps and just dating in general? Like, do you think it is like what? Do you think people are not being themselves? Do you think people are coming off the wrong way? Like, what do you think? Or do you think a social media and just mainstream media has changed a lot of dating perspectives and just the logic of dating? Do you think people are not logical when they're dating? Do you think that people are not taking it serious? Or do you think that since dating apps, do you think that I'm curious to know? Me personally, I think it definitely does give a lot of people options. I think a lot of people, especially when people are over 30, you don't get to go a lot of places. So I do think that dating apps is a great place to meet people. It don't mean that you're going to meet the best people. But I will say this. When you meet somebody and you don't like them and they're saying stuff that you don't like, you have to flee. Do not stick around to see if it's going to get better. People are who they are. Like real talk. People are who they are. When they say something that you really don't like or it goes against whatever that you believe in, don't try to stick around to see if it's going to change. And what I mean by that, I mean the small talk of it all. If you want to date somebody, hey, what up, Chef Jack 33? How are you doing? You was just singing on uh, another panel? Okay, all right. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you joined me. I see you had your bell on for me. I appreciate that. What did you say? Christopher Melly say, if you're a white man and you meet a black woman you have to rub her feet. And why is that? Why do you have to rub her feet, Christopher? How you doing today? Oh, it's always good to see y'all. What do y'all think? I honestly think that it's just like so flooded, right? But I do think I know a woman right now. I know a lady, she married a black woman. She married a white man and he was from Australia and she was from Miami. And he told her that he was coming in to Miami. He had 8 dates lined up, guys, 8 dates. And she was one of his 8 dates. And they got married. But you know what they did do? They started off as just being cool and friends, and they didn't think nothing of it. And hey, they got married. I think they got married maybe like a year later. So, like I say, shoot, don't give up on your hopes and your dreams just because you might not be landing them bullseyes. Like seriously. I'm so. How you doing, Caleb? How you doing, baby? Like seriously, what do y'all think? Who's married and who is not on here right now? What do you think that the main thing is when it comes to the dating? I will say this. I know I just did a whole video on dating coaches and how they are just sending people up the wrong rabbit holes. What up, James? How you doing, baby? Like seriously, what's the M stand for? Like married. Okay, you married. Okay. Well, seriously, like James, like you've been married, right? Like I always say this, right? How long you been married, James? How long have you been married? I'm curious. Anybody on here else married? Chef Jack, are you married? I'm curious. Look, James said, yes, I am married. And you know what? And the thing is, right? Even when, 13 years? Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. That is awesome. And I will say this too, even though you're married, no matter if you're a man or a woman, right? You are still trying to still win them over sometimes. I think sometimes when people get married, they be thinking to themselves like, I don't have to do nothing else. And that's not true. Would you agree with me, James? I honestly, I don't think people realize that. Like I've heard people say this. I've heard a woman say. I was talking to a woman the other day. She was telling me that her every day, right? Every day. I was talking to a lady the other day. She was telling me that her boyfriend wanted her to do her hair more, or just take care of herself a little bit better. And she said, "I do it. I do it when we go places." And I was like, if he's asking you, like he's actually telling you what he doesn't like and what he does like I think that's a beautiful thing. Some people never tell you, and you know what? You never will know. So at least he is telling you that. I will say this. I mean, you gotta take the hints. Gotta take the hints. I mean, some people don't tell you anything. So, like seriously. And I was on here, I think last time I was on here talking about profiles. And look, James said, and please do it. Right? Okay. Seriously though. Like, I mean, if you don't, then like what is to come? I think people think it's so easy to go get another, and it's not easy to go get another person, guys. I'm telling you, it's not. When you come past that one person that you really, really love or you like, you might not run into that person again for a long time. I'm telling you. Y'all know. Like, what do y'all think? Do y'all think it comes so easy? I will say it comes a little easier for a man than it does for a woman. Doesn't mean that he's going to meet a quality woman, but I think that he is able to meet many more women than women are able to meet a lot of different guys. I will say that. Like seriously. My example is like if a man wanted to get married, as long as he ain't on you know, bugs, you know what I mean? And as long as he has a job, like hey, he can meet somebody. Dracula, what's good, baby? How you doing? Like seriously. Like for real. You said Dracula says, is that Dracula? Are you saying BS? Are you saying BS for that it's not easy for you to meet women, or BS? Like what is BS for? I'm curious. Look, I ain't scared of the word BS. What does BS stand for? This is a friendly podcast. I do not argue with people. It's okay for you to offer your opinion, but I guess I was saying, do you think it's easier for men than it is for women? I don't know. I will say this, there's way more women than there are men, right? So you do get to see way more women. Would you agree? Doesn't mean equality, but you do see a lot more women. I will say this. Oh, Bachelor of Science. like seriously. How are you doing today, baby? A lot of people are meeting each other for real, like on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, people don't realize like people really meet each other on there. You don't even think of it like that. Like you don't. Look, James. James is laughing. Like seriously. I think there's no bad place to meet somebody, as far as, I mean, it has to make sense though. Like, I don't know if you're going to meet somebody in a strip club or something like that. I don't think that would be a very good idea. But when I say anywhere, I mean, I say you always should be ready. And I tell you this, a lot of times when you're scared to talk to people, they just as scared to talk to you too. Church, definitely, definitely, definitely. I will say though, in church, I feel like there's way more women. There's a lot of women in church, like a lot of women, a lot of women. I don't really see a lot of men in the church like right now. Would you agree? Now there was tons of men in the church before. I don't see there's still men in the church. So don't get me wrong. Don't come from my head. I'm saying that there are so many women in the church right now. So that's what I mean when I say you met your hold on, you met your third wife. Hold on, I'm putting this up. I don't know if this is real or not, or if you trolling me right now, but I'm rolling with you. Is that I met my third wife at a swingers convention. Okay, you know what? I do not judge. Whatever, whatever moves your feet, okay? I will say this. I mean, y'all definitely have to be into the same thing, regardless if it's church or whatever it's in, right? And this is what I mean when I say you have to be evenly yoked up. Like for real. Like if you're not, then I mean, regardless, whatever you're into, hey, they gotta be into that too. You know, I don't know anything about that or poly lifestyle or any of that. So I will say that. So I don't know. Your third, are you still married to that third wife? That's the question. And you got married 3 times. Hey, they say 3 times a charm. Is it? Is it? Did it work out? I'm curious. Roll on number 4. You're on number 4. Are you serious? Are you just like in the troll? Are you trolling me? Are you being serious? Roll on number 4. So you're on number 4. You're on your fourth wife? Hmm. Man, you're a busy person. A busy person. It sounds like you're about to be on your fifth wife. Like I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Is that a what is that? Is that a troll sign? What is that, guys? I can't see it on my screen. And James said, "I wonder why." Look, okay. I hope this person is really not on their third wife. Trying, how do you get somebody to marry you? I always wondered that. How do you get somebody to marry you while you're at the table and you're like, "Yeah, I was married 3 times." Like, who's the person sitting there and was like, "You know what? I wouldn't mind being number 4." I'm just curious. And they said they are seeking number 4. Are you really seeking number 4? Uh, Look, let me tell you something. You must not be married in California or something like that, where a lot of wives will try to take your money because you're getting married a lot. So I'm thinking it's not a lot of money involved, right? That's what I'm thinking about. And guys, you know what? I will say this: when it comes to a lot of look, somebody said, "Wow, number 4." Like seriously, like when it comes to prenups and different things like that, some prenups don't even hold up. I don't know if y'all familiar with the singer Tyrese or not, but I was reading a lot of his different things that he had going on. He had a solid prenup. And you know what? The judge in Georgia, for some reason, did not use whatever he had in his prenup. He did not use it. And he went against his prenup. And that man has paid over. Now I wonder if y'all look up what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tyrese when he was crying and stuff. Think about this. I understand why he was crying now. At first, that's right, Mr. Gibson. You already know. I understand why he was crying now. I didn't realize he had to pay $500,000 in legal fees. Like that's ridiculous. Yeah. And everything that he promised her he was going to give her, she fought against it. And the judge, and it's crazy. The judge sealed the case to where it's not public record, but he did him dirty. I will say that. Yes. Allegedly, the love guru, what's her name? Samantha. What is her name? Samantha Lee, I think. Don't quote me. I think her name is Samantha Lee. Beautiful young lady. Beautiful young lady. But she's a savage. She's a whole savage. So I do get why some men say that they don't want to get married. All I can say, fellas, is vet vet them ladies. Vet them ladies. Because the courts are not so nice to y'all sometimes. And this is not my opinion. These are facts. These are, I mean, look them up, people. You see the videos. Even when it comes to child custody cases and all that stuff. Look, it ain't right. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the different cases and stuff I'm seeing. Is that somebody said, I hate that judge. Yeah, that judge was wrong. Yeah, when I really looked at the case, I was like, what? Yeah, that was deep to me. I understood why he was crying. Everybody thought that man was crazy. He ain't crazy. That man is not crazy. He had a right to be crying. And how she just left. The women push for marriage. Yes, women do push for marriage, right? Well, marriage was created to actually protect women. So it honestly was made to protect them. It was made for just in case the man left or something like that, the woman would be taken care of. That was kind of used to punish the men sometimes. And women, I am a woman's woman too, so do not come for me. I know when I go live, for some reason, y'all team up on me. I'm only stating facts. I promise you I am. James said, huh? James, James, what do you mean? When you say, huh, you say, or yeah, of course. I mean, women are supposed to push for marriage. I mean, that's what makes a nuclear family. You're supposed to get married. But at the same time, a lot of the men, they are, man, they are not feeling it right now. There's still way more men who are interested in getting married, I think. Yes, women were made for a man. I definitely do believe that. I'm always gonna go with that. What I was saying was that what I was saying was that somebody was saying that women push for marriage, right? I'm agreeing with you, James. I'm with you with that. But we was just saying how a lot of times when it comes to divorce, what we're seeing, right, has nothing to do with me. I'm saying that the men they're getting done wrong as far as like when you're looking at these court cases and things like that. I think it's wrong on both sides. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't. It's not an either or thing. Marriage is a beautiful thing. This is Don. Is it Donnell? It says they put a ring on the finger, but it's really through a man's nose, not through a man's nose. I definitely think there are. I know a lot of people who have beautiful, beautiful marriages. A lot of people. A lot of people. I was married. I was married. I'm a widow now, but I was married, and my marriage was a beautiful thing. So I have nothing bad to say about marriages. Like I love love, and you're right about that. I do think that a lot of men are taken through the ringer though, a lot. Yeah, both sides, right? Both sides. Yeah, yeah. I've seen women get took through the ringer too with a man too. I do think this though. I think that there needs to be more push for positivity of people getting together, even when it comes to people wanting to split up, right? I think there are so many people that are for people trying to split up instead of family members trying to keep people together. They're kind of like pushing like for them to, oh, no problem, thank you, baby. And I think there's so many people that are pushing for for. You think men are weak now? I don't think men are, because there are tons of strong men out there, right? I think so. I definitely think. I think there's tons of weak men and weak women. I think it's on both. But I'll tell you what, James, what make you think that there's a lot of weak men out there? I will say this, and people might not like what I'm about to say, but I will say a lot of times when the homes are broken up, and they are, where the women are with the kids and the man's not there no more, regardless of the situation, right? There's a lot of times there's single women raising those men. So I always tell people, look at the statistics. The women are raising these men up, right? But I will say it's not a point the finger type of thing, because women are having these babies by these men, right? And then they're raising them up in the single homes. And I'm telling you, I'm only saying this. I've been doing like, lives. I've been doing podcasting on TikTok and here, right? I hear a lot of trauma coming from the guys, from the moms, from the single moms. I'm telling you. And don't be wrong, does not mean that they don't love their mama. I'm just saying a lot of times the moms are like, what I mean, and it does not take off anything from the men who are not there. But I'm saying Men give up too easily. Yes, men do give up easily. Yes, I do believe that too. But you got to think though, they're taught. A lot of them are taught to run. Not all, but a lot of them are. They are, yeah, definitely. But you know what? I don't even know if this is a give up type of thing because a lot of the people who are having the kids, they're not even in relationships. they're they're people are pregnant by strangers. Like they are. They are. Look how many paternity courts you got. Look how many divorce courts you got. Listen to them stories. Those are not made up stories. Those are real. Those are real cases on the docket. Like real talk, it is. Think about that. So if those are real cases on the docket, like these people are having kids by strangers, right? On both sides, right? Seriously, like, yep. Look at this right here. Danelle says the crisis begins when those from single parent homes become single parents. I'm telling you, the offsprings they are lost. Okay, so you see what I'm saying, right? And I say this, right? And I don't know if there's any women on here or not, but I don't think people realize I have a lot of women on come on here and they come at me and as you see, I'm a pretty cool person, right? I don't have any I'm not hostile towards anybody. But that is true. That is so true. Right? James said moms are turning into men and they are. And the thing is, right? We'll never be men, right? As a woman, right? We'll never ever be men, right? I don't care. There's no alpha females. No, everybody's going around to my I'm alpha female. You're not. You're not an alpha female. Charlotte, you're not. Like seriously, like real talk. Derry says, no father. This is why you see that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you think about it. But there's no structure. There's no structure. The father is normally the head of the household. And I don't care who gets mad at me about this, but it is. So when you cut off that head, where are the kids gonna go? Seriously. I'm yeah, I'm seriously. Donnell said he said, "Don't agree with me. I'm not used to women agreeing with me." You know what the crazy thing is? It's not even about agreeing with somebody, right? I'm just a logical, practical person. Like like real talk. Like seriously. And I don't think people realize this. Like I say this all the time. Uh Women complain about the men. They call them sorry, deadbeats, lames, no, all the names. And I always ask the women and say to the women, but you had a kid with them. You had a whole relationship with this man to where you brought in a whole nother life. Which that is up to you because you choose whether or not that's going to happen, right? Unless there has been a crime that has occurred, and we're not talking about that, right? So a lot of women they don't like hearing that, and they get mad and they go off. I mean, I've been on tons of different podcasts with men, right? And I'm telling you, okay, no problem. And I'm telling you, and I go on there, and the women are just going off. They go off, and it's not even to one person or anything like that. We're just talking about the crisis. We're talking about dating. We're talking about meeting people and all this type of stuff, right? And even as women, right? Women who are having kids with these men, right? You're choosing to have kids with these men. Like you have these kids and then you're trying to date, right? How did you date another person and have another kid with somebody else? So now you have different fathers, right? Like, who is the person that's at the center of everything, right? It would be us as women sometimes. And I get it. I understand. Not letting the men off the hook. But if you know that this is happening, as women, why do we keep giving men kids? Can somebody please explain that to me? And I get it. I know it starts at home. I know maybe there's no father in that house either. So maybe it starts from there. But I don't understand why a lot of ladies don't. I don't understand why we're not seeing that. It's not about nobody picking with somebody or anything like that, you know? And I think that makes it hard, even when it comes to dating. I tell ladies all the time when you're dating, like you're dating for your children too. You are. You're not just dating for yourself. So when you're saying you want that man to be 6'5" and he has to make this much of money, like that's not gonna be realistic and it's not practical. It's not. I mean, sometimes, you know, good things come in packages that you might not understand sometimes, you know? Like I'm a big believer in that. Like seriously. Even when I'm telling you, women are, yeah, yes, definitely. Women definitely can be very judgmental, right? Men can be too, right? Two different judgmentals though, right? Men can have their options, right? They have options, they keep their options wide and open, right? Way more women, right? Women can be judgmental. And men can say what they don't like. Men can say, I don't like they can say they might not like a big girl, they might not like women with kids or different things like that. And then women are more judgmental, as in like, oh, he's not 6'5". I don't want to date him. You know, he doesn't make this much money. Oh, I don't want to date him. And as I say all the time, as women, a lot of times we overvalue ourselves, right? We do. We do. A lot of times we date the people and the people who like us, that is our equals. But as other women in our family and our friends and coworkers, we have lied to each other. We've lied to other women. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. We don't realize that. Is my mic off? Hold on. Tell me if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. It's not off. I thought it was off at first. But seriously though, like people don't realize like we're pumping up women with kids, right? To leave their spouses, regardless if they're married or not. Like, you know what I mean? We'll tell them you can find somebody else. And that's a lie. It's not that easy to just find another man to date you, Carmen. It's not. Like, and I just wish that we would stop lying to each other and making it seem like it's that easy because it's not that easy. And I think as women, like I think that's what we're doing to each other. Seriously. Even when it comes to discipline, right? Like we talk about like we don't like to tell each other what's really going on. Men or women, right? Seriously. Like, we gotta start being able to express that. I mean, as far as everybody that's on this chat right now, I mean, do y'all mind dating women with kids or is that a thing or are the women like would you like what is it that you're not dealing with? Even if you're married, if you were single, what is it that you're not dealing with? Women have voids that need to be filled. Yeah, but at what cost, right? Like women have voids that need to be filled. And it's wild to me, right? And I get that women do have voids that need to be filled, but at what cost? And who's going to fill? Who's going to like? What kind of who can fill some of them voids though, right? I mean, seriously. It says women used to seek a man like their father. That role model is missing from modern family, right? Think about it, right? I had a great father. You know, my mom and dad was married, and you think to yourself, right? You'd be like, I want a man like my father. A lot of women don't even know who their father is. A lot of guys don't either. So where do you get that from then? I mean, and I'm not even being funny. Like, if you've never met them, where do you get that from? Even as a woman, right? If you've never seen your mother be a good mom or just do mom or wife duties or just things, like where do you get it from? I mean, seriously. Like I get it. And I think that's rough. And I think those are the conversations that we are not willing to have with each other sometimes. Seriously. Like I'm just saying. Like that's the part where we come to like that quiet space. For real. And if you're mad at your father, if you're a woman and you're mad at your father, these are questions that these are good questions to ask women, men. Seriously, you dating women, ask them about their father, ask them about the men in their life. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you when they don't have nothing good to say. And there's nothing wrong if something happened in their life with their father, right? They don't have no examples. As long as they got some type of therapy or they're able to talk about it. But when they can't even talk about it, I mean, that's not good. I'm telling you, lace up, lace up, lace up, and don't turn around. Donnell said, "Can we mandate for a father in a home?" Exactly, right? But I'm telling you, look at media. Look how they pushed up all that different rap. I mean, music period. I don't care if it's Taylor Swift, Beyonce, whatever. Look how the music is dumping on the men. They are dumping on the men. Every song you listen to when it comes to for a lot of women, songs right now, they're dumping on the men. Like it is. Like it's bad. It's bad. I've heard songs come across the radio and I'm humming and singing and I'm like, hold on, what she just say? Like, not good. Exactly. No good examples, right? You read about that, like Run. I don't think people realize it. Look how they pumped up. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the rapper Sexy Red, and look how they pumped her up and put her on everything. She won Best Artist of the Year when it comes to some of them awards and things. She can't even sell out her stadiums right now because it's not real. It's not real. She doesn't have the fan base for that. But look what they're doing. Look at a lot of the artists and stuff that they're making be pregnant and they're pregnant by herself. So what it looks like, but like Tyrese said, like Mr. Gibson said, they on their dogging all the men, but they going home to somebody. And the women are eating it up. They falling right for that. Why you thinking Beyonce, single lady, she doing all this and like she going home to Jay-Z. Like seriously, she is. She did. She is. Like think about it. It's bad, guys. It's terrible. I always wonder what is life going to look like in 10 to 20 years when it comes to this. How is it going to look? Like, seriously, what's gonna happen? Oh, no fathers, no fathers. Look at it. Look how many people. Statistics. Look it up. It's facts. It ain't. It's not my opinion. What is going to happen with all the kids being born without no fathers? I watched a court case the other day, and it was a bitter lady talking about how her ex-boyfriend, a child's father, was dangerous, right? She was like, he's so dangerous. But I'll tell you what, he had text messages. He had brought him a lawyer with him. They was on a Zoom call. The lawyer brought up the text messages, and the text messages was like, I miss you. And like the lawyer was like, you miss somebody's dangerous? Like, like that's wild to me. That is wild to me. And when the judge asked her, when you and him got pregnant, you know what the lady said? She said, well, I mean, yeah, we had sex, but I didn't ask him to get me pregnant. Like, there's no accountability whatsoever when it comes to a lot of these ladies. I'm not saying all the ladies, but a lot of them, there's no accountability. And it's sad, you know? Like I don't get it. It says men will boycott women, no chance. Look, I hope they don't boycott women because you know we need each other, right? At the end of the day, we need each other. All jokes aside, we do. We do. It's better if we can bond and if we can unite as one, right? But as media is making it seem, I don't think people realize that. I say this all the time. Single women spend more money. They do. They spend more money than when they are married or if they with somebody, you don't spend as much, right? So I don't think people realize when it comes to the economy, like it's kind of good for the economy for women to be single. It's not good for the kids at all. So they're going to pay from all of this, you know. It's like it's definitely not good, not good at all. Hey guys, if y'all can like up this live too, I'll be forgetting to ask y'all to like this live while we be up in here. I would appreciate it. Thank you. I'm trying to get my algorithm up on this channel. It says for as long as women can click their fingers, men will come running. I don't know about that right now because they're not running right now. Look at all the videos now. All you see is women saying, men are not trying to talk to me anymore. Beautiful women. That's all you hear is men are not talking to me anymore. Men are not walking up to me no more. Men are not just coming up like no men are sitting back. Look at all the single events. Single events, it'd be 90% of women. 90% of women are coming to those single events. There's no men in sight. And it's crazy. You know, they be advertising. We got fishing, we got hunting, they be trying to think of all the men's sports they can have at these single events, which to me is as ironic to me because those are things that I think men want to do without the women. So I don't even know why they're throwing those in there. Because I don't know who wants to go hunting with Barber, but maybe somebody does. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, like it's that out there. I'm telling you. It's that get me the address 90%. Oh, yes. All them single events, fellas, all women. I don't care if it's a church event. I don't care if it's a club event. I don't care if it's a network. It is women, all women. There's tons of videos right now going out. All you see is them complaining about how there's no men at these events, like at all. So it's just like, yeah, like yeah. And these are women who might have divorced their husband. Like seriously, like they might have divorced their husband and stuff. I'm like, yeah, like, yep. And the grass ain't always greener. Sometimes sometimes that green ain't the green you looking for. Like it's not. It's not. And that's what I mean when I say we got to start being a little bit more realistic and logical. Like seriously. All you hear now is a lot of women on a lot of these platforms and they're saying they had to go find herself, packed up the kids, left the husband. Husband ain't done nothing wrong. They just had to go find herself. Like Tia. Like the girl Tia on The View, right? Like, where did you lose yourself at, ma'am? Like seriously. Like all I can do is kind of giggle at stuff like that. Cause I'm like, what is that about? What do you mean that you had to go find yourself? Aren't you in the same car with your husband? like, like seriously. I'm telling you, guys, I will say this. It is gonna be a cold winter. And escape fun is real. The escape fun is real. Look, and you know what's wild? I think I discussed this last time about the divorce parties. It always amazes me how people can have divorce parties. What is there? I am not celebrating nobody's demise of their relationship. Okay, count me out. I'm not coming. Don't ask me to come. Like seriously, strong. Don't nobody want a strong woman. Okay, and you know what's crazy? I don't know if it's just in the brown community about the strong black woman, brown woman, even the white. Now the white women are being strong too. Like that is not something. And I've seen that on dating profiles. I've seen it on women's dating profiles. And it says I'm a strong woman. Ladies, nobody's looking for that. That's that's not an accolade. Okay. It's not. I mean the women, men. Are you looking for strong women? Are you looking for strong? Is that a thing in women? I don't mean the opposite of weak women. That's not what I'm saying. But I think a lot of women independent, right? I tell you what, when women get over 40 years old, that strong and independent starts sounding like cuss words. Like it does. I mean, seriously, you're gonna want some help. There's nothing wrong with wanting a man's advice, right? Like that's a good thing, right? Men are great, ladies. Like, do not let your mamas, your grandmamas, and them tell you anything different. Okay? There are tons of great guys out here. There are. It's just that a lot of them you don't want. Like, and that's the truth. Y'all don't. You know, he don't come in the package that you want him to come in. Like, look, Jane said nope. Yeah, and that's a real thing. I will say this: you got you a solid woman. Hang on to her. Hang on to her. I tell you what, because I think the longer a person stays single, especially women, the longer they stay single, the longer different things are going into their mind. The longer that they are making up what's supposed to happen, right? And it normally doesn't happen like that. Okay, that's why as women we are raised with fairy tales. And the fairy tales are not real, ladies. Okay, I'm telling you, it's not. You find you somebody to get with, just get along with somebody, right? That's the first thing. Did y'all see that Cam Newton interview? That was a strong interview. And I will say, right? Everybody was talking about Cam Newton, right? Love Cam Newton, right? I have nothing against Cam Newton. I have nothing against Dr. Bryant, right? I think they both had a very great interview. But when she was talking about she wanted to have kids at 41, I was like, and I get it, she's rich, right? I think a lot of women was on, like I said, a lot of women underneath her posts, and they was like, "Yeah, I'm 45 and I'm waiting to have my babies." No, y'all do not have Dr. Brian's money, ladies. don't don't let that lady pump y'all up. Talking about y'all gonna start at 41. That's not logical. Like it's not at all. Cam Newton is in his own little world. You know, he played football. Yeah, Cam Newton had 8 kids. What is it? 3 women? I think it was 3 women. 3 women, right? 3 women. That was a strong interview. It's from him and what's the other one? Nick Cannon. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. But I tell you, with the Dr. Bryant, I definitely think she's very, very smart young lady. I think she's awesome. I do think that, she can be a little delusional too with the man that she thinks that she wants. Because she's 41 talking about she would date a man as young as 26. Which I understand why she said it, because she said she still wants kids and different things like that. Not saying that you can't have a kid at 41, but ladies, after 35, you are geriatric. You're going into geriatric pregnancies. You are, and that is dangerous. I'm not saying that it can't happen. So I'm talking about the majority, not the anomaly. Like seriously, I think sometimes people take some of them interviews and they kind of just run with them. They run with them, and I don't think people realize like that's not. I don't think that's what they meant. Danielle said three wives equal 3 mother-in-laws. That thread carefully. What? You better not have had 3 wives, okay? Why'd you? Look. You know what? For giggles and kicks, why not? Why'd you leave 3 wives? I'm just curious. Also, guys, when this video is over, if y'all can leave some comments underneath the video, it helps my algorithm too. If you like the video, if you disagree with the live, leave it up under the video for me. Please be in good taste though. I come with no pressure and no violence. Like seriously, like for real though, but think about that though. I think that we are pushing agendas that are just not real. The women want somebody 6'5". I mean, 6 feet. What is that, like 6% of men around the whole wide world? I mean, that's bad. Okay, so since it didn't work, right? I'm just curious, and there's no judgment or anything. I'm asking a question. Why do you think it didn't work? James said dot 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 dot. Like I'm curious to know why it didn't. We all curious to know why it didn't. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty, hey, I think my men got options. Men can get married more than women can. I mean, of course, physically, women can get married the same way, but it's not look the same, right? There would be nothing for most men to be married 3 times, and he can still find that 4th wife. I promise you, he can. He gonna find it faster than Rhonda would find it. Like I promise you. And I don't know if they have kids or not. Do you have kids out of them 3 marriages? It said rush into marriage and slowly drift apart. You right about that, right? I will say this. They say it doesn't take long for somebody to find out if they want to marry somebody. They say most men know if they want to marry somebody within 9 months. 9 months, 2 years. Anything past that, I definitely don't think you might not want to marry that person. I'm not saying that you won't, but I honestly do. I really do believe that. Now that's the truth. Now I am saying that too, though. But I know a woman. I went to a wedding not too long ago. They were dating for 9 years. They got married and they divorced in 3 months. But you know what? They shouldn't have got married. Anything past 2 years is, I mean, nobody wants to marry each other. Now you're just marrying each other just because. Marriage is a business, regardless of who likes it and who don't like it. Marriage is a business. Also, guys, please remember to please like this live up for me, just in case you have not. I appreciate it. Like it is. I do think people drift apart though because people don't try anymore. They don't. I think people. It's like getting a job, right? You came in that first year, you did everything that you could. I tell women this all the time. You know, treat your marriage how you treat your job. You ain't trying to get fired. You do everything you can to keep that job, right? Drift apart or swung apart. I don't know, but hold on. You are right about that, James. Right? Drift apart or swung apart, right? Yeah, I definitely think that things happen. Oh, definitely. Oh, I definitely would marry again in the future. Yes, yes, definitely. I definitely would. Yes, yes. I have nothing bad to say about marriage, right? Like I don't have anything bad to say about marriage. I think it is. I think it's about the people. I do. I don't. Of course, you can go on bad dates. You can meet bad people, but you also meet good people, right? And I will say this: you gotta be optimistic. If you're going into something being negative, I mean, you might as well not even date. You can't go in with your bad. You can't go in with your luggage, and you carrying your luggage while you on your date. That's not gonna work. Marriages are for people who want to be married. Exactly, right? And everybody, and I believe everybody is not meant to be married either, right? You are right about that, Jermaine. How you doing today, baby? And I do believe that. I don't think everybody has to be married either, though. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that does not mean that everybody needs to be laying kids around because that's when it gets tricky. Now that it does, if you have a lot of different homes that are, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can't really raise your kids if they're all in a whole bunch of different homes. Oh, I'm glad that you're good. Always, always. Like, think about that. Like, I do believe that. I don't think everybody's mentally ready to be married either, right? That's a mental thing. People don't realize even moving in with each other. I don't think you know anybody until you really move with them. You have to move in, live with them for about a year. And I'm not talking about before marriage and like I'm just saying period. Like think about it. Seriously. Let me see. Donnell said, "Don't don't do what I did. I expect the same marriage as the first one. I wished up the third time." Well, you know what? Hey, I will say what I like it in you. You're fine. You're not being rude. You're good. You're good. It says, "How you feeling tonight?" Says, "I'm sorry I was being rude." Oh, Jermaine, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. No, you're fine. You're fine. We in here just we talking about relationships and different things. The main thing was why our dating apps falling apart, and we talking about relationships, marriages, and all kind of stuff. You know what? You're supposed to go in wishing that your relationship is going to work, right? So maybe I don't know, Donnell. Did you had a good first marriage? Might didn't work out, but maybe you might like some of the things the first marriage brought to you, right? That's the only thing I can say. Also, guys, whoever's in here that is new, please like this live up for me, pretty please, and leave me some comments on this actual video if you can. No, yeah, exactly. Of course, James, right? Shacking up. You know what? I'm tell you something. I know a lady right now. She's been married, but not married. Boyfriend and girlfriend, and I'm not exaggerating, for 44 years. They have a son who is married and they still ain't married and he will not marry her. And I'm just like, I don't get it. He has a house. She's not on that house. She's not on that deed. She's not I told her daughter, if that man happens to pass, your mom's getting kicked out. Like seriously. Have been in a relationship for 20 something years. Okay, so Jermaine, so you've been in a relationship for 20 something years. So I'm guessing that you have just been boyfriend and girlfriend for 27 years, right? She is too old for him. She's too old for him. I'm just saying, it's been with the same person since high school. Oh wow. Oh, that is awesome. Hey, you know what? If you found somebody from high school, that's a beautiful thing. Think about it. Hey, you know how to get along with somebody, sounds like. I mean, that's not easy. to keep somebody around for a whole, I mean, that 20 years. I mean, hey, look, what is the magic? What's the advice you got? How are you making that work? Like seriously. I always say, when you meet people like that, you always ask them like, what keeps y'all together? I think that's awesome. More people need to talk about stuff like that. Like seriously. James said no shacking. No, look, no shacking, no shacking. It says been with let me see. Any more comments down here? Nope, I don't see any more comments down here. Well, Jermaine, it was nice talking to you. It says it says I found someone in high school, but dating teachers was frowned upon. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what though. Sad to say, I've heard a lot of men say that their teachers dated them. So these female teachers are skating by while all the men teachers are being in trouble. These women teachers are man are Vikings around here. And these are older men who said they dated their teachers, but still, regardless if they're in their 40s, 30s right now, the point that their teachers have dated them is strange to me. That just shows you the double standards though. Like seriously, that's bad. Donnell, you are a whole comedian, I see. It's Jermaine said I'm still young and she's still young. Okay. So are y'all gonna get married? Or are y'all not? It's 20, you said 20 years, right? So you met him in high school. So I'm guessing you're about what, 40 something like that, right? It said James Jermaine said I still have to show my ID when I go to the store. That's how young I look. Well, that is a beautiful thing. Does she want to get married? Or she doesn't want to get married? Do you have kids? Do you have kids? I'm curious if you have kids. That's what I want to know. Do you have kids? I'm asking for a reason. I'm asking for a reason. I wonder because that does change things sometimes when you do have kids. I know a lady, oops. I know a lady that had a daughter. She has a daughter. Her and her boyfriend has been together for 13 years, I think. And she says that they have not gotten married. But I did tell her, I said, as your daughter, when your daughter starts dating, or say she might think to herself, well, I'm just gonna have kids and not be married. And she was like, I never thought about it like that. No answer. Child allowance is overdue. Child allowance is overdue. Like seriously, like think about it. Oh, child allowance is over. You ain't lying about that. I tell you what, not even thinking about the marriage. I mean, shoot, nowadays. Okay. Well, I will say this, Jermaine, right? Of course, marriage is not for everybody, right? I don't know if you have girls, I don't know if you have boys, I don't know what you have, right? I will say this though. Sorry, guys. I will say this. If you're not married, the chances of your kids not wanting to get married, though, is higher, statistically speaking. I will say that. So, do y'all both mind that or not? I'm curious. Congratulations on your beautiful kids. Kids are always beautiful, right? I have nothing against kids. I mean, that's a real thing, though. Think about it. Think about if either one of y'all was to pass. I mean, either y'all's grown kids got to take care of y'all stuff, or either y'all's parents got to take care. Because unless y'all got some things in written down, like your trusts and different things like that, when it comes to law and different things like that. Like they say, marriage is a business. Like a real talk. I will say, as long as you don't mind your kids coming up without being married and having babies, right? Because then it gets different, and that's a different conversation a lot of times when it comes to a lot of people, right? So I'm just wondering, no judgment either way at all. I'm just wondering, how would you feel? There was a podcast on the other day, and the guy was asking the guy. He said, "If your daughter came home pregnant, would you give her a baby shower?" And people were saying no because it was celebrating her being pregnant without being married. What do y'all think? I'm just curious to know. Would that be a bad thing, good thing? Like, would y'all mind? Do you think that would be? I mean, and nowadays, I mean, you see it so often now. It's like a regular thing to see that. I think I will start coming to her on Sundays. I think I might start doing Sunday lives. I need to pick 2 days to do. I think Sunday might be one of my days to come on here and do my lives on here, to do my streams. Also, guys, too, I have another channel too. This is my other channel. I am typing it in here so that y'all know what it is. Oh, hold up. Nope, I did the wrong. I typed that the wrong thing. Hold up. I'm typing it in so y'all know. All right, there you go. It is under Red Talk Anna, so y'all can look at that too. I'm actually I just did a video I'm putting on there tomorrow. I'm gonna start putting more videos on here too. Two separate channels, kind of similar but a little different. This kind of like is like my little bit more kind of go back and forth with my people. Yes, we're going to get married at some point when she decides when she's ready. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'd be concerned. I have to raise the child. I have to be concerned. I have to. Do you have any kids, Donnell? I'm curious. Do you have any kids? I'm curious. I'm curious. Oh, well, that's a beautiful thing. Well, I tell you what, you know, I do believe nobody should get married until they are ready to get married, right? Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be between y'all two. Well, and their families, because their families matter. I don't care what they say, guys. Whenever you vetting a woman, check her family out. That family matters, okay? Those are the people that those are her go-tos. Those are all her go-tos. Think about that seriously. You have 2 sons and a daughter. Aw. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Jermaine said, "I think because marriage is a business, a lot of people." Well, think about it. I mean, it is. I mean, from speaking from, people didn't like a lot of people didn't like Kevin Samuels, right? I liked Kevin Samuels. That was my guy. I think that it is. It is. It definitely is a full business, of course. You love each other, you get married, you have babies, life goes on, right? But it is a business, right? If more people treat it like a business instead of, because you don't want your business to fall on the ground. Think about it. That's why it really should be looked upon as a business too. Nobody wants their business falling on the ground, right? I know I wouldn't. Like seriously. Like I don't know. I think it would be maybe less divorces. Cause think about it. Feelings change, love change sometimes, right? It does. Like so if we live in a fairy tale type of situation like that, that's when we kind of go crashing down. Especially as women. Women have more fairy tales in their mind than men do as far as like the thoughts of what a marriage is. You ever talk to a single woman and listen to her what she think a marriage is? Like it sounds like a cartoon sometimes. It does. I'm a woman and I'm telling you, I've listened to women and I'll be like, "What?" Like, "No, that's not how that goes." That doesn't go like that at all. It's like it really honestly doesn't. I mean, I think everybody should treat it like a business. You prepare for everything else. We prepare for college, we prepare for jobs, we prepare for buying a house. Think about it. Think about all the stuff you put into buying a car. You research it. Why don't we do that when it comes to dating? Why don't we research what we're doing? Even about ourselves. Think about it. Why not? Why don't we put the energy into ourselves to make ourselves better? Divorce is a safety net. I go nowhere without it. Don't know. I still don't know if you trolling me or not. I hope that you are. I really hope that you did not have 3 marriages. Like I promise you I did. Uh, well, all right, guys. I appreciate y'all. It's been love. I appreciate y'all. I will be back on here. Please set your bell. If you set your bell for me, you're gonna know exactly when I come on here. Because set your bell, you're gonna know when I'm coming on here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. Breaking news. Can you tell us what's going on? Let me see. Let me get this last question. Breaking news. Can you tell us what's going on and in your mind, think in your head about marriage? Let me read this again. So the breaking news. Can you tell us what's going on? It says on in your mind. Donnell says I'm back to my dating app. What's going on in my mind? Are you asking that for Donnell? Look, and dating apps, I tell you what, guys, ladies, when y'all making these dating apps, stop putting everything that you don't like about stuff in them dating apps, okay? It's gonna come off real aggressive. Okay? Don't be putting in there, I don't like liars. I don't like people who are unfaithful. That people are gonna see that first. Okay? Bye, James. Thanks, James. You are always a blessing. Look, just be careful. I'll tell you what. Make sure y'all FaceTime them people when y'all talking to them dating apps. That way you can know who you're talking to. Also, meet up with them soon. Don't let months and weeks and stuff pass. It takes 5 minutes to meet somebody. Coffee date is awesome. You don't gotta have dinner. Go meet somebody. Go have a call. Go to the bookstore. So many different places you can go. Like seriously. Silver Surfer, how are you doing? I don't know how that happens, right? I don't know, but I will put that up there for you. I want to know what goes on in a female mind when they think about marriage. Jermaine, I think what goes on in the female mind is like I said, it depends. Depends on how they were raised. If they was raised to be marriage minded, if they were raised by a woman who was married, it depends. If they wasn't, if they were raised in a household where a lot of people just talked about the men not in a good way, then that's their family counts. Their family counts. Their family, their friends, people that are around them, that counts. It really does. That's what I think. I will say, guys, check out my other channel, my Red Talk Anna. I kind of get more into different topics like that on there. This channel is kind of like my ask channel right here. Like you ask different things and things like this. But my other channel, I kind of go over more like other relationship scenarios and things like that. And let me put on here and my TikTok. I'm on TikTok too. So please, same name on there too. Jermaine's gonna keep me on here. It says, but you gotta remember you have females that are raised by marriage parent, and when you need them, like what who raised you? You ain't lying about that. I'm gonna post that. You right about that. You so right about that. Some people are not raised up, some people are dragged up. Like seriously. And you can tell, listen to their conversations. Look how defensive some women get when we're talking. Like how we had this conversation today. A lot of women who would have came in here, I'm telling you, they would have been start being belligerent and start cussing. And I don't think I said anything bad about women at all. But I'm telling you, it's happened a lot. So I'm telling you. This is my other channel name, guys. Please make sure y'all follow it. If you do go on in any of the videos, please make sure y'all let those videos play all the way through. It's been a blessing, guys. Please make sure you like, subscribe. I will be back. Put your bell on. I will definitely be back here. What is this? What is this? Today is not Sunday. I'm tripping. Today is Monday. Mondays. I think I'm gonna try to come on Mondays for sure. So I'll be back, guys. Thanks, guys. You take care too, baby. I appreciate all y'all. Good night, guys. Peace and stay blessed, guys.